These 2 cards literally allowed me to pay for my entire trip. I know this sounds crazy, but for the entire trip with flights and hotels, we paid probably around... Hey you guys, I'm coming to you from a beach in sunny Mexico where Stan and I decided to go away to for the week of Thanksgiving because it's also our anniversary. Celebrated 6 years together yesterday, which is really exciting. Sitting here in this beautiful pool, and you know, because it's the weekend of Thanksgiving, I got to reflecting, and I wanted to start off this vlog saying how grateful I am for all of you, and I'm so happy that we've built this little community and a place where we can ask questions, be vulnerable in the comments, and share your ups and your downs. Connected with so many people and advice to so many prospective students. Can't thank you guys enough for trusting me enough to reach out, seeking out my advice, because I think that that's part of the reason why I started this channel in the first place. Was not everybody has access to someone you can ask questions of, especially in like a very niche career like dentistry. I'm so happy to be that for you guys. Thankful for each and every one of you that has subscribed over the years. And even if you're not subscribed, first of all, what are you doing? You should be subscribed so you don't miss any of my videos. But also appreciate it if you have watched a video, liked, left a comment. All of that is incredibly appreciated. Taking this week to recharge because the semester has been so crazy. You know, obviously I recognize how privileged and lucky I am to be able to even do this. Kind of share the story probably tomorrow when I have time about how I was able to do this. And to travel during the week of Thanksgiving is not very affordable, so I'll share a bit how I was able to do it on a dental student budget. I'm in such a beautiful place. We're at the pool right now because the beach is getting a little cold when the sun has gone down. We're in day 3 of our vacation. You know, feeling grateful for amazing experiences and people and food, but most of all, say how thankful I am for all of you guys. So I'll give you guys a little bit of a tour as well. It's starting to get a little dark, so I might do it tomorrow, but for now, this is the pool area. Our room is actually right there, so we're like right in front of the pool, and then on there is actually where the beach is. Short walk to the beach. We're not at like an all-inclusive resort because we're actually in Tulum, which is not really known for all-inclusive resorts. It's more so like wellness retreats, but then there's also the party scene that's cool in Tulum. So actually yesterday was our anniversary, so I made a reservation at this restaurant that kind of turns into a party later in the night. So we had a really nice dinner, and then it was actually a back to the 80s party. So they had like some performers, but then it was also, you know, like music and a DJ, and the remix is actually so good, and I had such a blast, and I feel like I'll insert some clips here so you guys can see. Hello. So I bought these like waterproof pouches for our phones that we actually didn't end up using, but I gave it to Stan and he thinks it's the coolest thing ever.
I vlogged it.
Are you enjoying your new toy?
I put it on cinematic. It's kind of cool. Are you not gonna ask what's the one piece of advice?
I don't know. Do you have a piece of advice for that?
Yeah. Don't mess up people's teeth, please. Thanks. Be humble. Always accept more knowledge. Be a lifetime learner.
You just repeated everything that Dr. Alex said.
I mean, she's my idol. That's what I meant.
Do you even watch the vlog?
I do.
He actually does watch all my vlogs. Just kind of. So it's our last day of vacation, and I decided that today was the day I was going to vlog my day for you guys. We're having breakfast. They just brought out a basket with just toast and bread and jam. And you know what's crazy? I've been eating really well this entire week. It was all really good. There's something beautiful about a simple piece of toast with butter and jam. Sometimes you don't need anything fancy, like just warm bread with butter. I don't know, it also kind of makes me like nostalgic for my childhood. Mom would make me breakfast like this in the mornings. Something about it is just really comforting. Toast, baked jam. So we finished breakfast and now we're at the beach, all lathered up in sunscreen because it is so hot and we are already a bit sunburned, but now we're just gonna hit the water for a little bit, but it's such a beautiful day today. Look at that. It's gorgeous. So we're just about to have lunch, but just look at how gorgeous it is. Who would have known that an hour ago this place was pouring rain? Now we get to enjoy our lunch in this beautiful weather.
Community all the way from Mexico. If you like my content, hit the subscribe button right here.
Oh god, I can see. Your brain. I put the lens back in, but this is what happened when I got hit with a wave. So I'm holding on to them obviously because I don't want to litter in the ocean. But geez, what a way to end this trip. You know what's funny? I thought to myself that I was actually going to record quite a bit on this trip. I feel like I was just relaxing, you know, I kind of unplugged. I still spend time on social media and stuff, but I unplugged a little bit from vlogging and recording things, and it was nice.
And studying.
It was nice to take, yeah, it was nice to take a break. I mean, I studied a little bit, like the bare minimum, because I have a final next week, but as you can see, I am back home in New York. Since I didn't get a chance to talk about what I mentioned earlier in the video, I wanted to tell you guys how I was able to afford a trip on a student budget. Take the time to do now while I unpack some of my bags at home. The reason why I make a point of trying to travel as much as I can during my breaks. During dental school, we don't get very many vacations. After this year, we actually really won't have any breaks anymore. We only have 2 weeks off this coming summer, and we have to like pre-reserve those 2 weeks in order to be able to have someone in the clinic at all times. So it is kind of stressful to be able to figure out when you can and cannot do things in dental school. I know for a fact that during the week of Thanksgiving, all classes remote or they'll be pre-recorded, and so we basically have the entire week off. I kind of try to plan ahead and book a vacation. Last year, that's exactly what I did. This year, it was completely different because we knew that we wanted to go somewhere warmer this year. And the prices for the flights were absolutely astronomical. Something like $800 round trip. Flights to Europe don't cost that much. After talking about it with Stan for a little bit, we just kind of decided that it didn't make sense for us to spend that much money. Literally in the beginning of November, I got an email from one of the companies that I have a credit card with. Oh, you know, we have like last minute Black Friday deals on hotels. Oh, what the heck? Let me just check them out and see what they have. And the prices looked really, really good. That's when I realized actually that I had points on this credit card that I would be able to use to book the hotel. I looked at how many points a night was worth. I looked at how many points we had. It seemed like a no-brainer. This is something that's absolutely crazy. I never booked a trip 2 weeks before it actually happened. I really wanted to go somewhere and relax. But before I did that, I wanted to look at flights and make sure that they were not crazy pricey. But if we were going to be able to pay for the hotel and points, it kind of made sense. You technically weren't paying anything for the hotel. I actually realized my rice cakes here because I always bring snacks to the plane. I actually had another card that also was a points card. That card had more than enough points to book us flights. I used one card to book flights and one card to book hotels. I know this sounds crazy, but I think for the entire trip with flights and hotels, we paid probably around 200 bucks in terms of like fees for the tickets and fees for the hotel. Nothing compared to what that trip would have cost us, retail value. Obviously, I'll tell you guys what cards I use and how I was able to accumulate enough points to do this. Before we get to that, I wanted to quickly mention the sponsor of this portion of the video, Ana Luisa. I actually took this little travel case out of my bag for my trip because that's what I used to pack all my jewelry in. I just want to show you guys this because if you don't know what to get someone for the holidays and you know that they have a lot of jewelry, but you think jewelry is a personal choice, obviously it's kind of hard to pick out something that you know somebody will like for sure. This is something that every jewelry lover needs because let me show you guys this travel case, which I have actually been waiting for a long time to get, so I'm so excited that they sent it to me. It has these compartments right here that you can put rings into. I also put these kind of hoop earrings in here. Here you can put any miscellaneous things. What I love here, one, hello, it has a mirror. You're on the go, you want to condense the things that you're bringing. Having a mirror in here actually saved me because I used to do my makeup on the plane. I have one less thing to worry about. So I love that they have up here places where you can put studs, and in here there's another compartment. So when you open this, is a space where you can like hook your necklaces and put the rest of them in this little pocket. Keep them from getting tangled because that is such a big problem for me. I literally have so many like chains and stuff that always get tangled. This saved me so much when I was traveling. I'm so glad that I had it. Like I said, if you're still deciding what to get somebody for the holidays, this is quite literally the best gift that you can get. So I wanted to quickly mention that because you guys know that I've been working with Ana Luisa for a while. Their jewelry literally all the time. This travel case is full of their jewelry too. That's all I took on vacation with me. I did swim in a lot of the jewelry and it all is still amazing. It looks stunning. It still is in great shape. Putting that out there, just letting you know. I'm not sure if this is leather, but it feels like leather. It also comes in so many different colors, so you can pick out a color that you think they might like. I picked the red because it just like give me a festive holiday feel. So Ana Luisa's having their December sale right now. Buy one, get one 50% off. But if that doesn't work, then you guys can also use my code SmilesPending20. It works when they don't have a sale going on so that you always have a discount that you have access to. You can always use the link that I'll put in the description to shop this and all my favorite pieces. So everything in here that I use and love from Ana Luisa, it's going to be your landing page on the link in the description. So if you were ever curious about any jewelry that I'm wearing, 9 times out of ton it's from them. So click on the link, check it out. Kind of last stretch before the holiday sale. Like I said, if you're still stuck with gift ideas, they do expedited shipping, so you can get it in time for the holidays. I'm gonna put this back now and let's get back into it. As I was saying, I was basically able to use points to book an entire trip. Obviously this wasn't including food when we were there, but again, compared to what we would normally be paying for a trip like this, what we ended up paying is a tiny fraction of that. And by the way, this portion is by no means sponsored. I wish that I would get a sponsorship with these companies, but obviously they're huge and you have no idea who I am. Both are really good for what they are. I'll tell you guys about them separately, but this first card is something that not a lot of people know about. I never gatekeep things like this, by the way, and I always love to talk about things that I found that are helpful for me. In the past year, started following a few people that do like miles and points and travel hacking. Although I really admire what they do, book full on like business class flights to all these crazy countries, I am nowhere near that level, but I do follow this one guy. His name is MOxMadina on Instagram. I'll drop his handle down below. He actually did work with his company, but it is hands down one of the best cards that I've ever used. Specifically for someone who is a student, this is the perfect card. And this is the one that I used to book the flights. It's the one that sent me the email that said they have Black Friday deals and things like that. So it's powered by MasterCard. So the biggest advantage of the bilt card is something that I haven't heard any other credit card company do. They allow you, if you're a renter, to pay your rent using the card, not have to pay any kind of fee, and earn points on your rent. I mean, how cool is that? For most of us, right, especially if you're a student, your biggest expense every month is probably your rent. When you're able to use something like your rent to get points, they start to accumulate very quickly. I'll be really transparent with you guys. My rent in New York for a 1-bedroom apartment, me and my boyfriend share, obviously, is $18.50, which means every single month I get $18.50 in points on this card that accumulate that allow me to book this trip. And the way that it works is that there's 2 ways that they can pay your rent. One is that you can kind of log into like whatever payment portal you use online to pay your rent, and they'll give you an account number and a routing number, and you'll be able to pay it through there, and then they'll just charge your card, and it'll just appear like a credit card charge, and they'll just directly debit it from your bank account. Or what they'll do is you can put in like your landlord's information, and they'll just directly send them like a physical check, charge your card, and you just pay it off at the end of the month, or they can directly just debit your card. Other advantages of this card are get 3 times the points on restaurants, which I don't know about you guys, but me as a student, 2 biggest expenses every month are literally rent and food. You can use this to get 3 times the points on dine-in, takeout, coffee shops, whatever it is. Any kind of food vendor you could use this for and get 3 times the points. You spend $30 on dinner, that's 90 bilt points right there. When you're booking travel, train tickets, plane tickets, anything like that, hotels, give you 2 times the points on this card. If you're not using the card points to travel, you could still pay with the card and, you know, get points for that. The other thing is that there's no international transaction fees, which is really nice because anytime you go anywhere, there's like a 2% fee, which is really annoying. Obviously, it's safer than carrying cash around in a foreign country, but if you can have a card that doesn't charge you any extra fees to use it internationally, why wouldn't you? Biggest benefit of all is that normally these travel cards that accumulate points have an annual fee. It can range from $100 to $400 to $700 for the Amex Platinum. The fact that this card gives you so many benefits and doesn't even have an annual fee is absolutely crazy, but also amazing. I know it sounds crazy. I know this totally sounds like a promotion, but I'm literally just not trying to gatekeep how I was able to afford a vacation. I've had this card for a year, and I still have leftover points, by the way. I didn't even use up my entire points balance book this week in Tulum, Mexico, which if you look up the prices for the hotels, they're not cheap, especially the beachfront hotels. Just so you know, it is totally possible, especially when you're spending on things that you're already gonna have to spend on anyway, like rent and like food, which is most of the ways that I accumulated points on this card. That's the first card. Other card that I have, the Chase Sapphire Preferred. Yeah, Chase Sapphire Preferred. There's also a Reserve. I don't have that one. The annual fee is much higher. The annual fee on this one is, I think, 95 bucks, which is not terrible. Kind of pays for itself. They usually have like a really nice welcome bonus. That's kind of the reason why I got this card in the first place, probably 6 months ago when we were going on our trip to Spain, because the welcome bonus was pretty good, and I was actually able to book flights to Spain with those points. In the summer, flights to Europe are really expensive. The advantage of having a card like Chase for travel is that they work with a lot more travel partners, a lot more airlines. Bilt works with airlines like United and Delta, but Chase works with a lot more, so you're not as limited in where you can use your points. I'm sure there's a different account that can explain explain how to transfer points to travel partners and things like that. I don't have as extensive a knowledge as people who do this for a living. These 2 cards literally allowed me to pay for my entire trip. I used Chase to book flights on JetBlue, and I used Bilt to book our hotels. And the hotel we stayed at, now that obviously we're not there anymore, the hotel is called Coco Unlimited. Gorgeous. They have breakfast included. It's a really nice beachfront location. They have like really cute bungalows. Staff is amazing. Service is absolutely incredible. We really enjoyed our stay there. That is the deal with how I was able to afford this trip. If you guys are interested in getting either of these cards, I am going to put a referral link for each of these in the description. I will be transparent. If you do use a referral link that I've given you, it really helps me out because I get some extra points and you also get additional points if you enroll with either one of these cards. Obviously, I'm by no means advocating for someone to open more credit cards. You have to know yourself. You have to be responsible for credit. If you have a good credit history, that also helps. But I think particularly if you're a student or you're in pre-professional school, this card, you're using it to accumulate points on things that you're spending and buying anyway. The thing is, you don't even have to use the points right away. They don't expire. You can just accumulate them. Whenever you have your next long break, you're able to use it. If you guys have any other questions about that, I can try to explain them. I will do to the best of my ability. Again, I'm not an expert. You can follow a bunch of people who do points for a living. And then also remember, Ana Luisa is having their December sale. It's buy one, get one 50% off. Otherwise, you can always use my code SmilesPending20 for a discount if they don't have a sale going on at that time. So you guys always have a discount on the website, and I will leave the link in the description. Thanks again to Ana Luisa. I will wrap up this video right here. Thank you guys so much for coming along with me. I really appreciate that you're still here. Again, like I started this video, I'm just really grateful for the community that I've built. There's over 1,300 of you now, which I'm so proud of, and I appreciate each and every single one of you so much, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.